Good evening, welcome to Cardiff City TV.
What a finish, what a goal!
Hello and welcome. The Bluebirds are back home here at Cardiff City Stadium as this afternoon they take on the very informed Middlesbrough right here in Cardiff. JP is alongside me to preview the match today as always, and we'll start off with the starting 11s. Cardiff have made 3 changes from their last outing. Marlon Romeo returns from injury. Joe Rowles is back as captain. And Sorry Caber, the new signing, is making his first start for the Bluebirds. The rest of the team stays the same. Ryan Allsop, Mark McGuinness, Shea Ojo, Callum O'Dowda, Romain Sawyers, Cedric Kipray, Jayden Philogene and Callum Robinson. There is no changes to the Middlesbrough team, so that's easy. They've kept it the same for quite a while now, but we'll start off talking about the Bluebirds. So those 3 changes I think will be important today.
Yeah, they will, Ali. Particularly, I think the forward change. Sorry Cabba coming in. He had a 30-minute cameo, maybe, against Hull last week and did okay. Showed some physicality. He's a different striker, really, to what Cardiff have got, aside from Keon Atet. But most importantly, he's not maybe weighed down by what's gone on at the club this year and the lack of goals and how we've struggled, creating chances, not taking them. He hasn't got that weight on his shoulders. So I think it's a good call by Sabri Lamouchi. Don't try and ease him in gently, get him into the team. He's a confident young lad. I had the good fortune to speak to him last week. Have him in there to try and bring something and that confidence to rub off everybody else. The change at left back, it's a difficult decision. Jack Simpson isn't a left back. Sabri Lamouchi said in his press conference this week, doesn't think Simpson's a left back, doesn't really think Callum O'Dowda's a left back, but O'Dowda gets the nod today. I thought he was very good further forward at Hull last week, so you lose that a little bit, but I can understand the decision. And Marlon Romeo, along with Callum O'Dowda, of all the signings Cardiff made this year, I think he's up there with the best. Unfortunately, he got injured over Christmas. It's a big plus that he's back, and he'll bring something to that right-hand side. So I can understand the changes. It's a formation, a 4-2-3-1 that matches up with Middlesbrough. So it's about winning your individual battles today, Ali. When you've got 2 similar systems, it is about winning your individual battles, and that's what Cardiff need to do. And
Sabri Lamouchi is his first home game for him in charge, and he's looking for his first win as well.
He is. Been nothing but impressed with him so far since the day he walked into the club, and obviously great that Sol Bamba is back with him, and good that he's back around because he has been suffering from the flu. But Sabri Lamouchi, the way he conducts himself, you've seen little changes already. I think the defensive structure, how he wants his fullbacks to go narrow with the centre halves and then play off that sort of structure. You're seeing little tweaks. He needs more time on the training ground, of course. He needs somebody to step up, and hopefully it's Sorry Cabba to take on the mantle of scoring goals, because if Cardiff don't score goals, what have they got, Ali? The 7th, 8th best defensive record in the division? There's nothing wrong with that. We all know where the issue is. Is Sabri Lamouchi the man who can design a system to get Cardiff scoring goals? He's gone with a big physical striker today. I'm expecting more direct football, more crosses into the box, and let's see if Cardiff can trouble Middlesbrough that way.
Yeah, and it's an important time for him to come in and make those important changes, because the Bluebirds are 1 point off the relegation zone with a game in hand to the teams below them in the table. So it is an important time in the season for these changes to be made and hopefully for improvements to be made.
16 cup finals, the manager said it himself, Ali, 16 cup finals. So you can't keep talking about hard luck stories and a process and we're getting there, we're playing nice football through the middle third and what have you. That's all got to stop now. We're in a relegation battle. On Tuesday night, I'm sure I was one of many fans following it on social media. We were in the relegation zone for a little bit on Tuesday night until a late equaliser. It's that close, it's that precarious. Cardiff have got to find a way to start winning games. Easier said than done, but the thing you've got to take positives from, and hopefully the fans take positive from, we're not conceding a lot of goals. we have a good basis to play off. We're not a team that's very porous. We're not a team that concedes 2, 3, 4 goals as a match. We've got a strong foundation to play off. Can we create enough chances? Can we score enough goals? That's been the question all season. Hopefully these mascots will bring us some luck. They're hoping to see some goals today. That's the big question on everybody's lips. Can we find a way, a structure to score some goals? And again, that's why I come back to Sorry Kaba. He's new in the club. He's confident. He backs himself. He hasn't been through the last 5-6 months with Cardiff City of maybe that lack of confidence when it comes to the penalty box. So yeah, put him in. Let him be the guy. Let him hopefully be the man that gives Cardiff a win today.
Yeah, and Middlesbrough are in form, as I said at the start. They are third in the table. They're playing really good football. And in a way, that could be what Cardiff need, is the challenge, to step up to a challenge today.
Yeah, and Cardiff have done okay against the bigger and better teams this year. Cardiff, again, well, they've matched up with everybody, really. Again, it comes down to whether you can take your chances when they come. Really, really impressed with Middlesbrough. They play some lovely football under Michael Carrick, but I was talking to Matt Murray, the Sky pundit, before the game, and he was saying he's seen games, they can mix it as well. So if it turns into a battle, they can play that way. They had 76% possession last week, Ali, against Blackpool. I don't expect Cardiff to dominate possession today, put it that way. Cardiff have got to be sound. They've got to have their back four and those two holding midfielders very compact and protecting the width of their penalty area. And they're going to have to play on the break, and they're maybe going to have to play on scraps. But yeah, that's okay. There's more than one way to win a football match. So expect Middlesbrough to dominate possession of the ball today. But if Cardiff can keep it close, it's just about nicking a goal. We should have scored last week against Hull. We had 2 or 3 chances. We had a penalty that was missed. If those chances come today, Ali, we got to take them.
Well, fingers crossed. We did hear from new manager Sabri Lamouchi, who it's his first home games. He gave us his thoughts on today's game.
Marlon he started the week with us, so he will be available for the game. We have to work. We have to focus on that and to try to change this lost confidence in something much better. So how? Just to do what we have to do. So more or less a little bit different, but with more aggressivity, more determination, to be all involved from the minute 1 until the referee whistle at the end of the game, not before. But I can't complain about the players. They try, but small details, small mistakes, and big consequence. Everyone, each one must to do more. We are close, but in the same times we are not so close. So we must be more determined in the right area. I said the 2 boxes, but the reality is always the pitch. So we are doing better and better session after session. Game is just the 2 games away. The first at home against another team, different team, one of the best, if not the best one. I like the way they play. The manager Michael, they're doing a great job there. Some players, they are playing like they never played before. Like Akpom is the best time for his career. Very good players, but we play at home, important games, 16th final, and this one is the first for the 16th final. So we must be ready. We start the week with good session to try to show them what was good and not good in the last 2 games, and step by step we will see. Everybody can understand the situation. We are clever people, not crazy enough to ignore the situation. So we have to work, we have to score, we have to get points, win, and to try to change this moment. For the first game at home is really important, the beginning. So we hope to to give them the warm welcome they give me on my first day. Will be a difficult game, I know, but I know in this league everything is possible. We will do our best, and with fan support, we will try to push and to disturb Middlesbrough.
Welcome back to Pitchside. Ash has joined me and he is here to preview Middlesbrough. They've made no changes to their team for quite a few outings now. I mean, why change a winning formula?
Well, absolutely. No, I'm not surprised at all. They're about as settled as they get at the moment, you know. I mean, probably the cruel irony from them is they're third in the table. They're probably going to have to settle for that come the end of the season. As long as Burnley and Sheffield United keep up their current form, that's how they're probably going to have to settle for things. On the other side of the table, I think around these parts, if everyone shook hands now and gave us full from bottom, we take it and say, see you in July for pre-season, you know. I think that's the situation we find ourselves in. But no, Middlesbrough are a very well-coached outfit at the moment. Michael Carrick has made a huge difference to things around those parts. And yeah, I'm not surprised that we're not seeing any changes.
Yeah, and they are very in form and they're very confident and they score a lot of goals. And as JP said earlier, they have a lot of possession in recent games. So that's what we're expecting today, for them to dominate the possession.
Yeah, they've got two players in the middle of the park especially who can really control proceedings, and two players at very different areas of their career. You know, you've got Johnny Howson, 34 years old, who's countless, I've lost count of the championship appearances he's got to his name. He's been an incredible servant, not just to Middlesbrough, but to this division, you know, where his time at Norwich and Leeds before that. And Hayden Hackney has just come into the team. You know, everyone expected when they took Alex Mowat on loan from West Brom back in the summer that that'd be a really astute, experienced pairing. It's not worked out like that. 20-year-old Hayden Hackney has forced his way into this team and has been brilliant. You know exactly what you're going to get from them today. I know you're saying settled team. There's only really two talking points about where they could have made changes. One of those is up top, where Chubarak comes in the form of his life.
He's the top goal scorer in the championship.
The division now, yeah, you know, and he just cannot stop scoring at the moment. So they've gone with Cameron Archer alongside him. Still looking for his first Middlesbrough goal, but it'll come. We saw at Preston in the second half of last season what a talented finisher he is. Could have gone with Matt Crooks today for a bit of physicality up there, but no, he's stuck to his guns. Michael Carrick, he wants to play his way. And then at the back is Paddy McNair, who's given the nod instead of Dale Fry. Lost his place with that sending off and is still out of the team. So, you know, yeah, like you say, completely settled outfit.
Yeah, and it just goes to show the confidence of Michael Carrick, the fact that he's not changed the team, he's sticking to his guns, and there's obviously a plan that he wants to execute.
Yeah, there was. And it took a few games. If you look back, there were a couple of disappointing setbacks early doors. They lost away at Preston, and people were questioning the performance, you know, such is modern football. But he's turned things around very, very quickly, and I think part of that is what you've alluded to there, Ali, is that he is stuck to his guns and his philosophy, and he's not making changes for the sake of it, despite the fact that we know the fixtures are coming thick and fast at the moment. He's gone, no, this is my way of playing. These are the 11 that are best suited to delivering that at the moment, and delivering results they are.
They certainly are. It's very loud in here all of a sudden. The players just warming up. I mean, it's going to be a tough challenge for the Bluebirds this afternoon, but they seem to be doing better this season against the tougher teams.
They are, look. We all know the predicament we find ourselves in. Things aren't good. They haven't been good for quite some time. Performances have been poor. Results have been even worse. I think, I'm sure John said the same. The one thing you will say is, usually with a team in our position in the league table, going into a game against a Middlesbrough team third, with just 2 defeats in 14, you'd be thinking, hello, this is going to be a really difficult afternoon. And it is. However, the one thing you can say for Cardiff, they're not shipping many goals. So they're not going into games fearful of taking a hammering. It's not a million miles away from being right. We just can't score goals. So, you know, we're not shipping goals. Defensively, the shape and organisation and the structure is decent. It's about how you build at that and put an element of control into your own game to go and create chances. I'm glad he's stuck by Shea Ojo and Jacob Philogene. Look, they're wingers. form's going to go up and down. They're going to make mistakes in game. They're going to turn over possession. And I'm glad he stuck with Romain Sawyers as well, because he is that one player in the middle of the park that is able of putting an element of control into things. I'm delighted Joe Rolls is back in the team. You know, say what you want about me, I'm always more confident when Joe Rolls is in the middle of the park for Cardiff City.
Who do you think is going to make the difference? There's been 3 changes for the team. Who do you think is going to make the biggest difference today?
Hopefully Rolls.
Now you've said that.
Yeah, I think, you know, we knew what we were lacking, and that was a physical presence up top. And Sorry Cabba, in his small cameo last week at Hull, seems to have the ability to do that. Are you going to get wet? No, I think you're all right. You know, Kian Atet is a big physical presence, and we've seen moments from him, but he's young. He's not quite ready yet to lead the line on a week-by-week basis in this division. So I think having Rolls back in the middle of the park should make a huge difference. Having a physical threat up top in Cabba, just be able to hold the ball up and bring others into play, the likes of Ojo and Philogene.
Getting a little bit wet.
And Marlon Romeo coming back into the team at right back. You know, delighted to see him back in.
Yeah, and that's, you know, he's been out for a while with injury, and people have been eager to get him back out there in the starting 11.
It's just the energy that he provides on that right-hand side. You know, there's been a brilliant level of consistency from him as well this season. If he hadn't have picked up the 2 little injuries that he's had and missed a few games, and he'd probably be top of the pile for Player of the Year at the moment, I think, given the consistency. And you've seen what's been lacking in the team since he's gone out. You know, Perry and G is a very experienced right back, but first and foremost, he wants to defend. Marlon Romeo is happy to go forward and go and join up with his winger and provide overlaps and provide possession high up the pitch. And it's been missing.
And hopefully that will result in more goals for Cardiff City today.
Yeah, chances first. I think we were speaking, weren't we, it must have been the start of Mark Hudson's reign in charge, and we were like, well, the chances are there. Yeah. We're just not taken at the moment. The chances have dried up in recent weeks, and you're just hoping now, look, a week on the training ground with the new manager to just impart some of that knowledge. A week with Sol being around there, because obviously he had that illness which kept him away from the 2 away games. So just a week on the training pitch, some players coming back, a bit of confidence around things. It hopefully makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and first home game for Zabri as well, so hopefully a bit of life and we'll get a good result today.
Yeah, and you know, these fans, we know what they're like, we know what difference they can make to things. They are desperate to get behind the Cardiff team that can do well and pull ourselves out of the predicament we're in at the moment. Here's hoping this is day 1.
Well, fingers crossed. We did catch up with Sol Bamba yesterday at training, and he gave us his thoughts on the fans and today's game.
It's so lovely to have you back. How are you feeling now?
Much better, thank you. It's good to be back. I catch the flu, unfortunately, so it knocked me out for a couple of days, couple of weeks, I should say. But I'm much better now, so looking forward for the first home game.
You've obviously seen the last 2 games. There's been some encouraging signs, do you think?
Very much so, yeah. I've got to say, I think it's just about the result we were very disappointed with, because the performance itself was good. So we were looking to build on that. It was a good week training this week, so looking forward to the game.
And of course, your first game back at CCS had to be your old team, Middlesbrough.
Typical, isn't it? Absolutely typical. I mean, listen, I don't think it can be any better start. The club I absolutely love. Gonna assist in the manager in front of the wonderful fans I loved as well. So against my former club, so it can't be a better start.
How much are you looking forward to being in front of those fans again?
Yeah, I mean, it's been weird because unfortunately when I left it was COVID, so it wasn't. I couldn't say a proper goodbye to them. So I think I'll be emotional. I'm not gonna lie. But we've got a game to play and to win, so it's all about that. But I'm looking forward to it. The gaffers asked me a lot of questions about it, and I can't even explain. You have to, experience it. So we're both looking forward to it tomorrow.
it's really important that everyone gets behind the team. We're in a tough situation.
Absolutely, that's the massive message, to be fair. I think, listen, they've always been there behind us all the time, home and away. But at this particular moment of time, we need them more than ever. And I know they're going to back us up, there's no doubt about this. But if I can put the message across, I think it's important for them to know we need them even more than before.
The Gaffer said that Romeo's back in contention tomorrow. He'll be important to have back.
Massive. I think where we are at the minute, we need everyone coming thick and fast, and we want everyone as fit as possible. So it's a big plus, and we'll see if he plays a part tomorrow.
Sorry, Cabba, we managed to get him on transfer deadline day. How important is that we've got now a big physical presence up front?
I think that's what we're missing, really. I think it's not only goals, I think it's player forward. We can give opposition a hard time, and I think he's all that is physical. He's good on the ball, he can hold it, and he will help us massively. But I think the rest of the lads as well need to step up. They all know it. It's been good so far this week, and hopefully play a part tomorrow and do well.
Top 5 in association with the Big Yellow Self-Storage Company.
What a finish, what a goal!
Strike that was, Andy!
What a goal, and exactly what Cardiff City deserve. Listen, Robinson started that with some clever play, closing people down, winning the ball back. Middlesbrough overplaying, again within the back three. You can see the frustrations, you can listen to the fans being frustrated, but Cardiff City so far have got everything.
Good understanding. Front two, infield now, Sawyers. It's Romeo on that far side, the right. Shoot from the touchdown, infield to Harris. OMG. To Winamato, back to G. Brilliant run, and G into the area, still going.
Finish.
Hey, and G!
What a finish. What a goal
that is.
Absolutely brilliant goal, Mark. Absolutely fantastic. The front play by Harris and Robinson to set up the opportunity. But Perry and G, what composure to come in off the right hand side, to cut in on the left, to finish with his left foot into the bottom left hand corner. Absolutely brilliant, and everything what they deserve, by the way. They've deserved everything what they've got in the Riverside tonight.
Good evening, welcome to Cardiff City TV.
Harris! Harris! 2-0!
What a finish, what a goal!
Davies crossing the stick, headed down. Good save from Wilson.
To the Cardiff City Stadium for Sabri Lamouchi's first game in charge of the Bluebirds. 2 away games to start his tenure, but back at home this afternoon looking for a first 3 points to add to the tally. Middlesbrough, the visitors, sat 3rd in the table coming into proceedings this afternoon. It's been quite a turnaround for them since they appointed their new manager, Michael Carrick, and they'll be looking for another big 3 points to keep them in the automatic promotion hunt this afternoon. 2 captains for the day. For Middlesbrough, Johnny Howson, and for Cardiff, reinstalled to the starting 11, Joe Rolls. For his team selection for the first game at home, Sabri Lamouchi makes 3 changes from that side, which lost at Hull a week ago. Sori Kaba, who made his Cardiff debut off the bench at the KCOM Stadium, starts up front alongside Callum Robinson this afternoon. 47 and 48 on the backs for the 2 Cardiff forwards. Joe Rolls, the captain, as I've mentioned, returns to the middle of the park. And there's also a welcome return at right back for Marlon Romeo, who's missed the last couple of months with a pesky hamstring problem. He comes back in to the right back position. Perry and G dropping to the bench for the first time in a while in a Cardiff shirt. Middlesbrough, as you might expect given their current form, they're unchanged coming in this afternoon. They will wear all white though, away from home. And there's some familiar faces as well, not least at left back, where Ryan Giles starts for Michael Carrick's men. Of course, Giles spent the first half of last season on loan at this very ground as a Bluebird, and his assist rate is as impressive this season as it was last. Elsewhere, Chuga Akon, former Arsenal youngster, is in the form of his life. He is the Championship's top scorer coming into this afternoon. He's got 17 goals in all competitions. There is the man in charge for Middlesbrough, former Manchester United and England international Michael Carrick. Before we get things underway this afternoon, we will, up and down the country, be taking a moment of reflection as a minute's silence to pay our commiserations to the tragedies of the earthquake from a week ago in Turkey and in Syria. Which will begin and end on the referee's whistle. Silence there, up and down the country in all EFL and Premier League games